welcome to Power Talk. I'm your host, Bobby Beanbagz, and with me is my co-host, Nastynupe. How you doing, Nastynupe?
Doing great. I'm doing great. Yo, yo.
All right. What up, Commish? All right, so what are we talking about today?
Talking about the
We got the divisions, man. We're rolling out there. We're going to rank the divisions from starting with the lowest, going to the highest. The 8th best division going all the way to the first. We took a vote within the media department, let everybody rank them, and we kind of sorted it all out and came up with these rankings here. Should be a pretty good list of divisions. So let's go ahead and roll right into it. Coming in at number 8. Drum roll, please. First and foremost, the 8th best division. 8th best, not the worst. The 8th best division. The NFC North. What do you think about that, man? What do you think about the NFC North coming in there at number 8?
I think this might be a sleeper division, to be honest with you. You got Mittens in this division, two-time Dynasty champ. So you can't sleep on a champ at any time in this league.
Right. Mittens, he's been a solid, proven champion. You know, he's possesses great knowledge of the game, works the offense and defense with crisp movement. Always there in the end. One guy in this league I also hope to see him grow a little more is Hamiltop. You know, he's shown signs of being one of the top guys in the league, but he just can't seem to get over that corner, get around that corner. And you gotta, do your job. And Lex Luger in there, two of the newer guys, but they've also been, they've also shown signs of being pretty good players. But one guy I'm looking for in that league to kind of grow a lot is Hamiltop there. So
Yeah, he came in kind of late, and I think this was his first time playing Madden in the franchise mode. So, it was some learning curves going on, how to build teams, and I think he's come a long way, and getting a fresh start in 17 is really going to help him.
yeah, I can agree with that. So that'll be an interesting division to watch with Mittens and Hamiltop kind of going at it and seeing what happens with Luger and do your job. All right, let's move right along here. Let's go to number 7. Coming in at number 7, the 7th.
Number 7.
Number 7, the 7th
This is
best.
another division. This is another division that could be ranked a lot higher than number 7, to be honest with you.
That's right.
There's a lot of talent in this division.
The AFC is coming in at number 7 here. You got one guy in here that I kind of look forward to, seeing how he does is Mr. Buffalo Soldier. He kind of came on late, but he has shown signs of being a top player in this league. Manages the game pretty well. He kind of comes at your throat whenever you play him. Kind of high risk, high reward style offense. But let's see. It's kind of curious to see how he does with a new slate. He came on late here. Another guy I'm looking at in here is Sunshine. I kind of wrote down in my notes here that he's consistently decent, meaning that he's not going to kill you in one aspect or the other, but he possesses balance on both sides of the ball. He's good on offense, good on defense. If he can find that one thing where he just is better than everyone else at, he could be a top player in this league very, very soon. So that's another guy I look out for. So that's
Yeah, I'm looking out for. I'm looking out for the big homie. I've been playing with the big homie since Madden 25. When I came into the league, he was about power running. He would probably throw the ball 2 times within a game, and he would just run the ball down your throat for 400 yards. I think he's gotten away from that over the last couple Maddens, and I'm hoping that he goes back to that power run because that was really his game.
Yeah, he's got the Patriots there, so he's got Tom Brady. He's got a good quarterback. He's got a good team to work with. So kind of see how he does as well. Then you got Mo Booker. I'm still on them Dolphins, man. Dude's a Dolphin fan at heart, and to see if he can grow as a player as well and kind of show signs of greatness. All right. Let's roll right along here, going into number 6. Number 6. All right, we have coming in the 6th best division, the AFC West. What do you think about the AFC West, boss?
The AFC West. The AFC West. First, I'd like to give a shout out to Kappa KSU, the original commissioner of the Dynasty. He just joined us back this season. He's been out of the game for a while, so he's coming back taking his lumps right now. So,
Yeah, that dude was a thorn in my side in the NFC West for a little bit.
yes. And we have Portugal, who was a thorn in my side when he was in the NFC South with the Panthers.
That's Mr. No Name Boys.
Yeah, it gave me a lot of fits during those games. So, and we have the current champ in this division as well. I'm sure he feels slighted right now coming in at number 6, and I'm sure he's gonna make us pay for that at some point.
Yeah, man. These I kind of labeled this division as the late bloomers. The reason being is you have Chirac, who kind of, it took him a few seasons, but once he finally, got over that playoff hump, he kind of turned the corner there and became a, top guy in the league. He was kind of consistently there, but he wasn't, there. He wasn't like a truth that he had Kevin White and he knew how to use him. But once, teams figured out how to shut down Kevin White, he kind of had to go back to the drawing board. So now he's kind of learned to adjust his game, and it's really shown, especially in the 2021 season when he won the ring. So he's definitely come a long way as a player, and I can only see him growing even more from there. Then you also got No Name Boys, aka Portugal, as you said earlier. I watched this guy grow. From a kid who really didn't, he played FIFA and came over and really didn't know the game all that well, and I watched him, he's come to me, asked me questions, I kind of, shared a little bit of knowledge with him, and he took off with it. Like, I gave him, I gave him salt, he turned it into French fries. Like, it was like, he took off with the knowledge I gave him, and he turned it into his own game plan. I can't even take credit for what he does now. The guy, he really did grow as a player. And then again, welcome back, Kappa KSU. It's nice to have you back. I finally, once you left, I was able to win the NFC West a couple times. So I appreciate you leaving. Let me sit up top for a little bit. But welcome back, bro. Welcome back.
Yes, and let's not forget about George W. Cush. He's coming in with a hellified defense. Now he's going to have to fix up the quarterback position, but that defense should keep him in games coming into Madden 17.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten the opportunity to play Kush all that much, so I can't really, talk too much on him. But with that Broncos defense, he's gonna be a threat no matter what. So that's gonna be a tough division there as well. So there's your number 6 AFC West. All right, moving right along, coming in at number 5. Number 5. All right, we got the AFC North. Man, what do you think about this one? This is a tough one right here. If I remember right, whenever we were going through our rankings, you actually had this one number 1. You want to elaborate on that? Why do you got this one number 1?
Yeah, I think a lot of users are going to lose a lot of sleep when they see the AFC North on their schedule. This division is pretty tight from top to bottom. I know King Vitamin is new to the league. I've played him twice so far, and both those times he's handed me the L. So I got a lot of respect for his game at this point. And plus, he took over the Saints, which in this league has a bad history. So you have to have stick skills to turn the Saints around. And you're looking at Darkness. Darkness has been here for a while and has been a consistent user in this league. So you never want to sleep on that consistency. And that boy is good came in and took over the Titans. The Titans have been pretty much a cellar dweller team until he took over. He got his players in place and turned the team around. So I'll be excited to see what he does with the Steelers.
Yeah, that boy good. He kind of came into his own the last couple seasons and really, took control of the Titans team and really, took off with it. So that was kind of cool to see that him, transform that team into a winning team. And then Darkness, I kind of had him noted as he's inconsistently amazing, meaning like he's either really good, like he's gonna beat you by 50, or he's gonna he kind of slows it down and he kind of beats himself almost. But like if he can kind of minimize the errors that he makes every now and then, he kind of brings his game and kind of tightens it up. And that's gonna be a guy that's gonna be there every season. That's like I said, inconsistently amazing at this game. If he can kind of get that consistently, become consistent at what he does and does well, like that's going to be. And then, King Vitamin, I haven't really been able to play him, so I can't really comment on him. But I mean, if he's beating you twice, man, and coming in there with the Saints, that's saying something already. Even if he's 2-20, beating you twice with the Saints, that's, oof.
Yes.
He's got to be nice.
Yes.
All right. Let's move right along here. Going into number 4. This is my division. I'm kind of let Nastynupe take over. I really don't like talking about myself, but I will say, Force, I'm coming for you, bro. The Jaguars, man, they ain't gonna have nothing on these Texans, man. All right, what you got, man?
The AFC South. This should be very interesting as well. You have the Texans, Beanbagz, I watched you come into the league, take over the Rams team, pretty much demolish it and rebuild it into a contender pretty quickly. So I will be watching to see how you handle coming in, taking over a quality team like the Texans from day one. So that's going to be very interesting to watch. You
JJ
move
Watt
on
on the
to
block.
next. We have Keith Stone. Keith Stone came. I watched him come in as well. He came in and took over the Jets. We had a lot of turnover on the Jets. He came in, drafted some great wide receivers, and started a passing game that was pretty much unstoppable at times. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does when he goes to Jacksonville and takes over the
Yeah,
Jaguars with that.
he definitely turned that Jets team into a powerhouse offense. I will give him that.
Oh yeah, so now he's getting a young offense with some good wide receivers, and plus he's getting a nice young defense. So that's going to be very interesting. And next we have the Colts. Big Bush. Big Bush came in with a high-powered offense. He used to sling that ball around. I think slinging that ball around cost him a trip to the Super Bowl one season against the Raiders because he got up pretty big by, I believe, by 28 points. But he
Yep, I
kept his
remember that
game
game.
and kept throwing the ball, and he let the Raiders back into that game, and the Raiders ended up winning that game and going on to the Super Bowl. So I'll see if he changes up the game going into Madden 17. And the Titans, the truth, he came in with the Bucks in 16. Came in, the Bucks were another bad team, had a lot of turnover, but he came in, made a couple trades, and gave me a couple fits here and there in the NFC South. So it's gonna be interesting to see what he can do coming in from day one with his squad and building throughout the season.
Yeah, it should be a pretty competitive division. I'm looking forward to playing in it. Got some I got some tough games ahead of me. I know that's for sure. So, all right, all right. Let's move right along here. Going into number 3, my old division. The this division was debated a lot. I felt as either is it going to be a top 3 division or a bottom 3 division whenever we were all going through our list, and it actually came in, and based on our point system that we used, coming in at number 3, we're talking about the NFC West here. So
Yes.
we got SJ, very consistent user. That boy JB Blazin, he turned that Broncos team, and you kind of watched him grow over the seasons and become, a better player every year. And then Fellowcraft doing what he did with the Chiefs, turning that into a winning team. And then you got Mr. Wu himself in there with Ric Flair. Man, what do you think about this division here?
I like to call this division the Rock Division. And I call it the Rock Division because when I came into Madden, when I came back in Madden 25, uh, Fellowcraft, SJ, and Ric Flair were all in the Rock Madden League. So we started off there together. So to see these 3 guys together in the same division, I'm going to get my popcorn ready for this. So should be interesting. And JB Blazing, he's had his ups and downs with the Broncos in 16, but he's getting a fresh start in 17 with the Rams. So it's a great defense in place with Donald on the line. So that should help out to go a long way. He will have to start working on the wide receiver core though because they lack any wide receivers. So
Yes, they do.
uh, to go from Demaryius Thomas to nothing, that's a big drop off.
Yeah, so that'll be a pretty fun division to watch. I already know there's a rivalry between SJ and Ric Flair from a previous broadcast. Ric Flair kind of cutting into SJ there, so I know there's a rivalry there. And then you got JB Blazin and Fellowcraft. They played each other so many times, so they're going to be doing it again in Madden 17. So that's just rivalries written all over it there in the NFC West. So that'll be a fun one to watch. I feel like there's going to be a new champ almost every season coming out of that one. So. All right, all right. Let's go ahead and move along here, going into number 2. So we have 2 divisions left. If you've done the math, if you've been paying attention, those 2 divisions are the NFC South and the NFC East. These 2 divisions, they possess, in my opinion, 4 of my top 7 players that I kind of have in my own head, my own list. Four players that I consider in the top 7. So whenever a division has 2 of those, they got to be 1 and 2. So, coming in at number 2, though, getting beat out by a large number based on our votes that we had. Coming at number 2 is going to be the NFC East. Man, what do you think about this division? This one looks like a tough one here.
Yeah, this one looks like another tough one as well. I know your cousin came in kind of late, took over a Seattle team that was pretty down on the dumps, but he was able to turn that around. So I'm expecting some battles between the Cowboys and the Eagles, and the Giants are always in the mix. The
Yeah,
one I'm looking, the team I'm looking to hopefully turn it around is Skill Trade with the Redskins. He's another one I've been playing. I played with in the Rock. He has some great skills in the Rock. I'm not sure if he's been putting in the time on the game. You know, it's kind of slipped a little bit. So I'm hoping that in 17 he can turn it around and make this division competitive from top to bottom.
yeah, that's you got Weedham boys in there, like you said. My cousin, man, brought him in. Uh, the 2020 season, I believe. That. I remember talking to him, man. He's like talking about how the Seahawks, man, they just garbage all around, and he really did. He brought in Nate Shaw, and he utilized him for a season, and finally he got Nate Shaw some help. And it looks like he's turned that team around. I know he likes the power run game, so he's going to have the offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott to work with. So I know he's going to work with that. I know he's going to be a threat every single season. And then you got Ness in there, man. Ness is probably one of the smartest guys I ever played. Every time we play each other, it's always, I'm pretty sure out of everyone I play in this league, me and Ness have like the most like even record up and down. I think I'm like 3-3, 4-4 against him or something like that. But every time I play him, he brings out the best in me. He changes up his game like on the fly, and it's kind of cool to see you play someone who does that. Someone who can adjust the way they're playing based on the way you're playing, and really take that being able to do that takes your game to the next level. And he's definitely done that, so I'm excited to see what he does. I know he's burnt out on Madden 16, but Madden 17, I know he's going to be coming in hot. He's got a quarterback now, so that Eagles team and the Cowboys, I kind of see those two teams really dominating that division. And then you have the sleeper in there, Z Sparrow, who if you don't pay attention, all of a sudden he's going to be up 60-15 on you, and you're not even going to know what to do. So that's a division where you got one team that's that can come right at your throat and be on top of you like no tomorrow. And then you got just two consistent powerhouse teams in there with the Cowboys and Eagles. And then, like you said, I'd love to see Skill Trade really turn his game around and kind of grow as a player and become make a name for himself in that NFC East. And it'd be cool if he kind of proved me wrong and within a season or two won that division. So Skill Trade, I'm not talking trash about you. I'm just telling you, man. I'm just trying to, light a fire under you, man. That's an NFC East that you can win, but you gotta want it, man. That's gonna be a tough one to win, but you gotta want it. So that's a division that can, be won by anybody in my eyes, but it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, got to get in the lab, baby. Got to get in the lab.
that's where rings are really won, is in the lab. All right, so by now, I'm sure all of you have kind of figured this out. Coming in at number one with a unanimous vote based on the media team. I believe they had 60 points. The next closest was the NFC East with 39. So they really, obviously there's a reason why this division is number one. The only guy that didn't have the NFC South number one was actually you, which I'm going to ask you why whenever we flip this over. The NFC South number one was C-Rob, yourself, Indy Jones, a.k.a. Black Panther, and then Tazzarelli. Why did you have the AFC North above the NFC South?
I'm just always tougher on myself. Put myself number two gave me something to work for.
All right.
Sitting at number one, there's nothing higher than number one. So, being at number two gave me some motivation to get back to number one.
I got you. I
So
got
that's
you.
why that's why I put myself the division down to number two.
All right.
I'm really looking forward to Madden 17 in this division. To be honest with you, C Rob is another one that I've been. We're always in the same division. We started playing together in Madden 25, and it's just been constant battles. I like to call him my arch nemesis because the battles we've had, and he's one guy that I really hate to lose to. He's that guy that I lose sleep about when I lose to him. So I'm glad he stayed in the division, but I was kind of upset when he picked the Bucks. I thought when the Panthers were chosen by Indy Jones that he would leave the division and I would be able to sleep good at night. But I'm happy to still have him in the division. And I'm looking forward to playing Indy Jones on a regular. Right now I'm like 0-2 against him, and I don't like that. So I'm looking to change that around in 17. And I hope he's listening. So I look forward to those matchups. And I'm looking looking forward to Talgerelli. You know, he's new to the NFC South. You know, he came in pretty on in the dynasty, and I think Madden 16, yeah, he used that as a learning experience to learn how to build a team, and I expect him to have a much better Madden 17 with Madden 16 under his belt.
Yeah, that's Tazzarelli is actually one of those guys that he's either gonna put up 60 on you or you're gonna beat him because I mean the guy comes at your throat with his offense. He likes to attack that secondary, so it's curious how he's gonna do that with the Saints and see if he can build a team around him instead of trying to form himself around the team. If he can take team building skills and build that squad to his liking and getting the players in place that he wants so that way he can play his style, that's going to be a guy that's going to be there. Then like you said, Indy Jones, like arguably one of the best user defensive secondary guys in the league. He can bait just about anybody into throwing a pick. I know it. I've done it many times because that tight end, man, he'll be wide open and all of a sudden the ball's going the other way. And I was like, I don't even know what happened. The guy's like, the guy's a magician. All of a sudden he's got the ball. So that's a guy. The only thing I'll say about Indy Jones is if he can, and kind of curious how he does, like, because I know he likes the mobile quarterbacks and he's got Cam Newton there, so that's going to make his game better. So one of the things, every time we play each other, it's kind of low scoring game. So, I feel like if he can get his offense to match his defensive abilities, that guy's going to be there every year. His defense is like an A plus on the scale. His offense is like a B plus. If he can get that offense to an A plus, just like his defense, that's that. I mean, I could see him winning multiple rings in this league. Then you got yourself a former champion, the commissioner, Nastynupe. You want to talk about a secondary that I hated playing against, and every time we play each other, like I'll put it in the group, man, I hate your secondary. The press man coverage you like to run. If you can get that same secondary or a secondary similar to the secondary you had in 16, I mean, you're gonna shut down offenses like crazy, and then your ability to pick apart defenses as well is like very. It's impressive to see how well you can read a defense and pick it apart and move down the field methodically, and all of a sudden you're at 14 points on somebody. So I mean, you're a guy that's going to be there every season. You proved it in 16, so I expect you to do it again in 17. It's going to be a toss-up between you and Indy Jones in that division. And then Tazzarelli, I'm looking for you, man. You gotta win this one, man. You gotta take over the NFC South, man. Shut me up, shut up Nasty, shut up Indy Jones. Take over that division, make that the Saints division. And then C-Rob, I've played you twice. Can't really comment too much. I will say, C-Rob, this is just my advice to you, man. Find you some safeties to play, because every time I play you, man, I don't really throw the deep ball, but it's just always there when I play you. So if you can find some safeties to cover the deep ball, man, you're gonna be set, man. You're gonna be right there in that division too. So that,
Hey man, no free chicken, no free chicken, no free advice, baby. He's got to work for it.
So that division, man, that NFC South is a reason why it's number one from top to bottom. There's skill everywhere. Every single team brings something to the table. You got Tazzarelli, the high-powered, come at your throat offense. You got Black Panther with probably the best user defense in the league. Then you got the balance. The balanced style of play that you bring, and then C-Rob, who he has a high-powered offense as well, kind of similar to Tazzarelli. So the NFC South, there's a reason why it's number one, and it's because there's 4 users in there that could win that division if they really put the work in. You got anything else for him, boss? Before we move on here?
I hope if you're in the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 position, I hope you feel slighted. I hope you're going to be in the lab. I want this to be a very competitive league from top to bottom. So if you weren't in the top slot, feel slighted. Feel slighted. Bring it, because I look forward to Madden 17.
Yeah, this is there's 32. We're 32 strong right now. So if we can, if you put in the work, man, and then all of a sudden, you got, the Redskins winning the division, and just things like that, where the true skill of the player really matters. Where we're being able to build a team is one thing, but then to be able to utilize it on the field is another. And I'm curious to see what happens in 17. This is kind of a fun thing to do, fun thing to talk about here. You know, kind of going through the divisions, and you know, it's kind of bringing up memories, you know, of playing some of these guys. The times where, you know, a few seasons ago, man, me and Ness, we would just sit there and we would like pick apart like each other's like opponents, like going over each other, going over it with each other. I think the season he went 14-2, I went 15-1. Man, it was like almost every advance. I was like, hey man, what do you know about this guy? And he would just tell me he'd like, well, he likes the corner route, and I'd be like, all right, cool. So every time I play, you know, I was using the purple zones and stuff. So I'm looking, you know, I don't know how many other people were doing that, but you know, that kind of, you know, desire to win, to where, you know, you're going to people that, you know, you talk to and stuff, and you're like, hey man, what do you know, man? What kind of game plan should I bring versus this guy and stuff, and then really kind of hone in, you know, what it takes to win the game, you know, game planning and scheming and, you know, all that good stuff, and turning it into, you know, a victory based on game planning and scheming, not necessarily relying on luck, the deep ball, or, you know, just speed. You know, actually having a game plan to beat somebody based on what you know about them. You know, that's something I look forward to in 17. See who brings that kind of gameplay to the league.
True, true. I'm excited. I'm excited. Also, I want to tell everybody to be looking out for www.thedynastymaddenleague.com coming soon. It's going to be very exciting, man. It's a lot of information coming down the pike. So
That's right. That's
keep
right.
your ear close to the group me.
That's right, man. That's a, you know, league vote, man. Appreciate everybody voting on that and kind of coming to a decision there. That's gonna really take this league to that next level, and that's where we're going to be. So, you know, another thing to look out for is the state of the dynasty. That's gonna probably come within the next week or two. Me and Kamish, we're gonna sit down. We're gonna, you know, go over the goals and stuff. You guys can, you know, send in questions that you want to ask Noop and everything, and we'll kind of, you know, give a little state of the dynasty type of deal. Also, another word, going to look into broadcasting more games now. Have a little bit more free time. I've been kind of busy, so look out for some more game of the week broadcasts. I want to kind of hone in my skills as a broadcaster, so that way when 17 hits, I'm just like I'm like Chris Berman on the mic, you know. So, you know, that's, you know, a couple things to look out to. And also one more thing: are you tired of flavorless wings? You put a little Uncle D's in your mouth. That's right, Uncle D's buffalo sauce. I actually got to try some a week ago, man. It is on point. You know, it's got, you know, the zing, it's got the flavor, it's got it all. It's great sauce. So, you know, Uncle D's buffalo sauce, look for it in a store near you, coming one day. I know it. But that's been it. This has been Power Talk. I've been Beanbagz. This has been Noop. We're out.
Yo, yo.